are you guys doing? Welcome to my channel. My name is Nadia, if you already don't know. Today we're going to talk about self-awareness. If that sounds like something interesting in you, then go ahead and get comfortable. Alright, so I printed out an article and you might see me referring to it so I can keep on track and get your tea or something to drink while we discuss this. I'm going to try not to be long-winded. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and get into self-awareness. I had to gather my thoughts and get some paperwork together and organize my thoughts, so you'll see me kind of, looking back at things. So I want to do a self-series, and I thought to myself, the next subject was gonna be self-compassion. And then I said, hold on. Before we talk about self-compassion, I think we should talk about self-awareness. It's hard to have compassion on yourself when you don't know who you are or aware of who you are or how people view you. So that's what we're going to talk about here. I'm going to give you a definition by a psychologist named Shelley Duvall and Robert Wicklund, and I'm going to go ahead and attach this article that I read that I'm going off of so you guys can read and interpret it on your own. So their definition is: self-awareness is the ability to focus on yourself and how your actions, thoughts, or emotions do or don't align with your internal standards. If you're highly self-aware, you can objectively evaluate yourself, manage your emotions, align your behavior with your values, and understand correctly how others perceive you. And that's the key word right there that I'll get back into, but it's how people perceive you. That's the key word, perception, that I want to get back onto. Basically, if you're self-aware, you can interpret your actions, feelings, and thoughts objectively. And when I say objectively, it means in a more scientific way, meaning it's not going to be an emotional way of looking at yourself. Believe it or not, it's a rare skill that a lot of people do not have. People think that they're self-aware, but 95% of people think that they're self-aware, but only 10 to 15 people are self-aware according to this article. And I'm not surprised. So there are two states of self-awareness. We have our public self-awareness, and then we have our private self-awareness. And our public self-awareness is kind of understanding how people view us or how people see us or the way that we should behave or act. You have to watch out for this, because if you care too much what other people think, if you care too much what how other people see you, it can make you self-conscious, it can make you worry about how you behave and move. But it's good to know how other people see you, but it can also be crippling. Now, private self-awareness is things that you kind of know about yourself that necessarily others won't know unless they pick up on your cues. I can give you personal examples, but I try not to do too much personal things until I feel comfortable. When I was younger, where I was afraid to read out loud or singing on stage, I had this fear. And, before the teacher was going to call my name, I started thinking, is she going to call my name? Is she going to call my name? My heart would start beating. I would feel these internal things, these cues telling me, be ready, she's about to call you. So that's self-awareness. Other people probably didn't realize that internal conflict that I was having, but I was aware of that. So those are the two types of self-awareness, and I think in this society now, people don't realize that they're just spilling out their heart and soul online. They're just spilling out their subconscious online or their unconscious online, and they don't even know half of the reasons why they're doing things. So it's good to kind of be self-aware so you can kind of guard yourself before you do certain things. Ultimately, when you're self-aware, you're able to decide what's your strengths, and you'll be able to know what your weaknesses are. And it's important for me to know what my strengths and my weaknesses are. There's a lot of weaknesses that I have, but I don't let that overwhelm me, because I try to focus on my strengths. But it's good to know what your weaknesses are. Other things is, I used to have deep insecurities about not being good enough, and I might still have that now. So I have to be self-aware, why are you doing that? Because I can't help it. But you're not supposed to ask why when you're trying to be self-awareness. You need to ask what. What causes me to feel this way? What happened to me to behave this way? What can I do next time better to not let this happen? What can I change in the future to have a better outcome? If you ask what, you'll have a better chance of becoming more self-aware and make changes that you need to make. If you ask why, most times we don't know why we do things. Most times we don't understand why we do things. And honestly, only God knows why sometimes about things about ourselves. We cannot get deep into our self-conscious and unconscious all the time. But we can say, what did this do to me when this happened? What did I feel when that happened? A lot of times when we're unconscious, when we're insecure about something, there's a feeling that goes along with it. There's an emotion that goes along with it. And we can ask ourselves, what emotion did we get from that? What feeling did we get from that? And then we can ask ourselves, what can we do to not get that feeling or emotion again? I'm telling you guys right now, self-awareness is something that's going to be a lifelong thing. Sometimes you might think that you see how other people view you, and that doesn't align. That's when problems start sometimes. I have that problem. I feel like people see me a certain way and it doesn't align with the way I see myself, okay? That's the truth. And that's when the problem starts, because like, who's right? Who's wrong? Am I not showing myself and people are seeing this part of myself so they come to this conclusion? Yeah, so that's the interesting about self-awareness. Sometimes you could be self-aware, but you don't want to show who you are because you think, oh, or it's weird, or you don't want to be vulnerable in that way. So you see the other people see you this way, and you can accept it because you don't want to really expose yourself. That's another thing that people don't really talk about. But at the end of the day, I know that in my life, the minute that I decided to be a little bit more self-aware of myself, the better my life got. And this article talks about visualizing the person you want to be, visualizing the life that you want to have. I'm closing my eyes right now because that's what I had to do. Whenever I went through something and I'm like, what do I want? What does Nadia want? What does Nadia need? If I'm making choices that doesn't make any sense to what I want or what I need or what I envision for my life or who I envision to be, then that tells me that something is mismatching. And that means I have to be more self-aware of why am I making decisions, or what decisions can I make that can align to my vision of myself that I want, okay? So that's things that you can find out when you're self-aware. You don't understand why certain things you overreact to until you start analyzing things, and then you start self-reflecting. And now I can say, you know what? That doesn't matter what other people think about me, or I don't need to worry about this insecurity that I have. I know what I have to do to be better. I know what I need to do better. I know what I need, to go forward. And honestly, if you guys could just read about self-awareness, do research on self-awareness, do things that can help you be more self-aware, listening to yourself, listening to your gut, becoming familiar with your intuition, is your superpower. It is definitely a superpower, I'm telling you. I am telling you right now, nobody can tell you who you are. Nobody can tell you what you can't do. Nobody can tell you what you will do. Nobody will tell you what is going to be hard for you or what's going to be too difficult. Because when you decide and you're self-aware of yourself, outside noise no longer matters. You're secure. Once you become self-aware, you are secure in yourself. You're grounded. And nothing can touch you. Nothing can stop you. I'm telling you, you'll be unstoppable. And that is something that I wish I knew when I was 16, 17, 18, 19. I wish I didn't find that out when I was 23, 24, 25, 26. And honestly, what took me to be self-aware was digging deep within and God. Sometimes I wasn't self-aware and I prayed and I said, God, please show me who I am, God. God, please give me the strength that I need right now. God, please. Am I this person that they're telling me that I am? Who am I, God? Who am I, God? Show me that I am this person that I dreamed about being. Help me become that woman. And that is how I became self-aware. I prayed and I asked from my heart and my soul to be open to receiving what God has promised me, how God sees me. That's one thing. God sees all aspects of who you are, where you're from. So if God can love me and accept me and God made me this way, then who can stop me? Who can stop me? You know? And I feel like many times we can be hard on ourselves because we think, how can I make this mistake again? How did I do this again? Why did I do this again? Why am I good in this spot again? Why am I making these mistakes? Do I not learn? And I can just tear myself up, tear myself up, tear myself up, tear myself up. I can dig a hole and drop myself back in there and stomp on it, okay? Like, that's how rough we could be to ourselves. But when you start becoming self-aware, you'll be a little bit more nice to yourself. And you won't be so destructive. So yeah, let me stop talking because I feel like I'm blabbering. Yippity yap, she talks a lot. All right, you guys, thank you so much. If you've made it to the end, I appreciate it. I hope that this video was helpful. We can go ahead and start this self-series and trust and believe. I'm giving you some gems. I'm giving you some good information. You don't know who I am, where I'm from, but I'm telling you right now, I've overcome a lot of things. I've seen a lot of things. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've had a lot of failures. I've been up. I've been down. I've been trampled. I've been told that I couldn't do this. I've been told that I couldn't do that. But when I became self-aware, the world opened up to me. And it'll open up to you too. All right. Love you.